Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Jam-packed show for you today. We're going to be discussing Omar Berrada and Dan Ashworth's comments before the Liverpool game on Erik ten Hag. Omar Berrada has said there's going to be no knee-jerk reactions and they're going to give Erik ten Hag the full support that he needs to get the best results out of this team.
Well, it's good that there's going to be no knee-jerk reactions. A lot of people thought after the Liverpool result there would be, but this conversation is full of support for Erik ten Hag. No knee-jerk reactions, excellent. The club has a long, long way to go. And when results go bad, the pressure piles on. But they are right behind him. The chief exec and the sporting director, everyone's there to support him.
Dan Ashworth said it's his job as well to support Erik ten Hag and try and influence and give him the tools that he needs to see results on the pitch. What can they actually do now behind the scenes? Transfer window's closed. We can't bring in or sell any more players. So what are they going to do?
Well, when he turns around saying we're going to continue working closely with Erik ten Hag to get the best results, what he means is he's taking a lot of the workload off him and also helping him in every way possible. That's what you want. That Erik ten Hag needs that. We know he's had 2 years of chaos and carnage with the 2 seasons what have gone. We don't want that to continue. These people are in place. They know what they're doing. Dan Ashworth knows what he's doing. And certainly the chief exec does. So they're taking work off him, and we've not seen that before. He's been left on his own. Some people will like that. Some people want Erik ten Hag here. Some people don't. We've got a club, what is changing, and these people are here to change it. And the way Erik ten Hag works in this club, it's 3 games in, it's early days yet, and there's a long way to go.
Yeah, I keep constantly hearing about the midfield area. We discuss it, you discuss it out there. What can they do to change that? Because let's face it, there has been a few individual mistakes, but individual mistakes cost you games, and in the future, it could cost managers the job.
From a fan's point of view, they can clearly see there's a problem and it has to change. Will Erik ten Hag change? I'm not too sure about that. Will he be forced to change? Will he get the help to change? It's early days yet, but that midfield has to change in the way it's set up. That's what I think. I've looked at it now for a while. A lot of other people agree that the midfield has to change in the way it operates and the forward line. There is a gap between the midfield and the forward line and the way they get the supply. We're not creating as many chances as we would like. The goals are actually short and the opportunities are short. So what really goes on, I'm not too sure here what the answer is, and I'm sure many other United fans out there haven't got the answer yet, but they are going to work on it, and let's hope Erik ten Hag is flexible with these people in charge and with the coaching staff. Change has to come. We have to see things on the pitch, and Erik ten Hag is the man what has to do it.
Yeah, I'd like to know your opinions on that. Would you like Erik ten Hag to keep the tactics, the style that we've currently seen over the first 3 games, or would you like him to change it maybe to a plan B, be a bit more compact in the midfield, help that midfield area out defensively and going forward? For me, I don't think he'll do that. I think he's very stubborn in the way he wants to play, and rightly so at times. Manchester United to Jim Ratcliffe, I've mentioned about a brand of football at Manchester United and what they want, and they will implement that, and it's up to the coach to bring that on the pitch. And I think if he was to change now, I think he would come under enormous fire from the media if he was to change his tactics now, and it put a lot of pressure on him and questions to be asked, and rightly so, of why are you changing the tactics now? What was it about your tactics that wasn't working? We've already seen him come out after the Liverpool game and be very defiant about his tactics, and also mentioning the trophies that he's won against the big teams, that it does work, even though a lot of us fans at times are scratching our heads to think, listen, Erik, this isn't working in midfield. But he's very confident, he's robust, so I don't think anything's going to change in that midfield. But let's hope that a certain player like Agati can come in and at least give us a lift and show some signs of improvement in that midfield area, especially in the defensive work.
I think what you have to look at here is the chief exec, Omar Berrada, sporting director, Dan Ashworth. They insist that they're going to give him the complete backing. They've only just got in here, okay? So the ideas and the way forward and the long-term strategy going forward, they're going to help Erik ten Hag. And it's early days. And if things have to change, they'll do it all together. If Erik ten Hag does tinker with the tactics or anything, that there's anything wrong with that, so long as they're all working from the same hymn sheet. So let's hope that they sit down, especially in this international break, and work together going forward, and it will take a while. Some people will like that message, some people won't.
Yeah, if you're looking at it, you've got Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth. They will be giving advice to Erik ten Hag in what they see from the stands on the pitch. Whether he takes that or not, we're not too sure behind the scenes, but you would expect a fully functional working relationship where they're all giving their ideas and all of them taking other ideas on board. And I don't see him reverting back to any other style that we've seen last season, the season before, this counter-attacking football. I think we need to see progress this year. That's what me and you have constantly talked about. In this third year, we need to see a progress from the first game, the first season when he walked through the door. So I don't see him changing anything like that. And I don't think the club, more importantly, will want to see that. They want to see progress just as much as the fans as well. And Omar Berrada talked about challenging at Manchester United. We heard Sir Jim Ratcliffe back in February mention he thinks Manchester United can challenge in the next 3 years. Now, me and you were scratching our heads a little bit at the time. It was all good, positive news. Yeah. Great words from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, thinking, right, so in such short space of time, we could be back at the top challenging. Berrada's put a bit of perspective on it. Anybody who's worked in football for a long time, they could tell you that it's almost impossible to put a timescale to answer that question.
Well, I've got a few things to say about this. Omar Berrada says it's impossible to give a time frame for the club of when it's going to challenge for the top trophies. And the opposite view is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and we've been quoting this, and this is why it's difficult to give a balanced opinion when you've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe giving the opposite. And the opposite is, he says we're going to challenge within 3 years. And Omar Berrada hasn't got a time frame for it. Well, all I'll say on this, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as a fan, is a dreamer. We all dream as fans. Maybe he got carried away. And you have to take the emotional out of it. Okay, that's why they're giving the full backing to Ten Hag, because there's a project. So we've got a dreamer in Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But what we have got, which is great, we've got a realist. I would prefer to listen to Omar Berrada. He's been there. He's done it. He's worked at a club what is winning everything. Everything in the club at City is working perfectly in all forms. So he's been and done it, and he's a realist, and he's walked into Old Trafford. What I imagine he's seen is carnage and chaos. Been saying it for a long time, and he can't give a timescale on it because he understands that there's that much work to be done in every department. There's no timescale for him. When you look at Sir Jim Ratcliffe walking in, bounced into the club, here we go, I'm going to get this club challenging again. There's the dreamer. That's the person we've been quoting, the dreamer, the fan. He's a billionaire. He's confident in everything he does. So that's where we are. So when Erik ten Hag gets the backing of everybody, it's the backing over a long period of time, because they see the people what are actually running the club, okay, they see the problems in there, and it's going to take a long time. Some people will like that, and some people won't.
Yeah, so Jim Ratcliffe, let's have it right, a very, very successful businessman. He's coming here and he wants the standards to change. It's pretty evident that he wants that to change with the appointments he's made behind the scenes. But I know Omar Berrada, he's been involved in a fully functional working structure at Manchester City, the City Group, and he knows what it takes. And he's walked in here and it's just all over the place. You've said your favourite words, chaos and carnage. Yeah, and it probably was like that for him. And there's mistakes still there going on at the football club at the very top with the ownership at the Glazers. But for me, Omar Berrada, I like his words, what he's come out with.
Yeah, listen.
I do. And I actually think it's refreshing as well, because we have been starved of it for over the years, with the owners not coming out, giving their opinions on what's going on at the football club, what their ambitions are, what they expect from the team, the managers, and trying to communicate with the fans, which a lot of fans don't want that anyway. They've drawn a line under that. But with Omar Berrada coming in, we've had a lot of words from Sir Jim Ratcliffe over the last few months. But with Omar Berrada, you can tell he's a proper football man. And we've been screaming out loud for many years now that we want proper football people at this club running it, making the right footballing decisions. And I think we've got the perfect bloke here who's at the helm at Man United and to take this club forward, because he won't suffer any fools, just like Sir Jim Ratcliffe won't, and the boys in the background.
Well, to me, it's clear. It's all about the standards. Omar Berrada understands the standards running a football club, whereas Sir Jim Ratcliffe understands the standards of running a business. And what we've seen is two different things here. We've seen Jim Ratcliffe go right through this club and just look at the working practices, and he has changed it. He does not like it. The standards are absolutely terrible. Omar Berrada sees the standards of running a football club, not a business, as in the likes of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is used to. So there's two different things, two different approaches. And Omar Berrada's standards are right up there because he's been at the top running football club. Even though I don't like saying it, I have to say it, Manchester City, everything is run perfectly as a football club. But he knows the timescale is a long way off, whereas Sir Jim Ratcliffe can't see that because he's emotionally involved as a football fan. Run it proper, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and Omar Berrada, leave him to the football club with Dan Ashworth running that, and that timescale hopefully will come down as things improve.
Dan Ashworth has said as well that they're not in the habit of kicking players out of this football club. There's been a lot of noise. We heard Erik tonight's comments about Scott McTominay leaving, and it did feel with the likes of Dan Ashworth, Wilcox in moving actual Scott McTominay on more so than Erik ten Hag. If players don't want to be here at Manchester United, these are the guys in the football club now who can get them out of the football club. And there's got to be a few players in that squad currently who have got to be looking over the shoulder, because if the performances do not improve, they will be out even in January or the summer next year. And I actually do think in the next 12 to 18 months, this squad will look totally different because of the underperformance. The people with the wrong attitude will not be here. And we've got the right people inside Manchester United to get that job done.
And the good thing, what we're seeing is they are doing the job as a business. They're getting people out of the club, what some people thought was impossible to go. And if your attitude isn't the right attitude on that pitch, inside that club, they're there and they will strike. They have had enough. They're not having it anymore, and quite rightly so, because we've seen years of it now where players have just sat there. These ain't having it, and that is a proper run business. So going forward, hopefully everything works out a rocky road ahead.
Yeah, talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe as a fan, the emotional attachment. You know, these people who are in here, Omar Berrada, Dan Ashworth, etc., they've got a job to do. They'll take the emotional aspect out of it, and they'll want what's best for the football club, and they can make them decisions, putting emotion aside. Me and you and a lot of people out there, the emotions that have been in us after that Liverpool defeat, I've got it all out my system now. It needed to be said. A lot of the certain things that we did discuss and said in match reactions, and we've got to take a look at it, take a step back, take a deep breath, look at things in reality, take it in perspective, and listen, let's just hope, though, fingers crossed, that results do improve. But we've definitely got the right people running this football club. It's the football club first, and that's the most important thing for me.
Well, what we've got to have is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the dreamer, keeping his mouth shut and stop talking about the football and everything else like that. And the people who should be talking have just come out and they've explained clearly what's going on for the future. So Omar Berrada and Dan Ashworth, they're the people who should be talking. And the dreamer, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, now should just concentrate on the business.
Well, get involved in today's video with your own opinions. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Please support the channel as well by smashing the like button.
Yes.
Overwhelmed in the last 2-3 weeks, a month of the actual support that you've been giving us, the subscribers, view counts, the likes on every video,
members,
and every one of you who support us as well by keeping the lights on with the members. It's much appreciated, and the content that we do and the interaction you come and give us, it's absolutely superb, and we'll continue to keep on doing that and hopefully grow as a channel as well. So thank you. Enjoy your day, everyone.
Thank you.